Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode with your girl, Audrey Codner from ACCUPLACER Tutoring. Hopefully you guys are having a lovely day. I know for most people in the world, this is Christmas Eve. So, we're all just trying to do our things. Everybody's trying to do last minute shopping because there's tons of traffic in front of my house. Okay, so if anything, this is what we generally do. For today, we're taking a look at ASVAB, which is basically a lot of the examination questions that's similar to the ASVAB. But guess what? We can also use the same practice for the GED, the ACCUPLACER, the TEAS test, the HESI test, any kind of examination that deals with algebra. So here is our first question for today, which is half the cube of 4 is blank. Is it A, 16, B, 8, C, 22, or D, 32? All you have to do is just take a look, see if you can figure out what the answer is, and then put the answer into the comments, and then I go over the question. As simple as that. Nothing too crazy. All right. And if you don't understand the question, you just don't know it after a while, and you want to participate, you can also put a question mark in the responses. All right. So hello, Profess. How are you? Thank you so much for the roses. Hello, Bobby. Thank you so much for checking in. All right. And also, if you also want to be a part of my subscribers' little club, just a fan club, not the super club. A little too much with the super, not worth it. But if you want to join my fan club, which is free of charge, except for you just need to add in 1 coin just to check in, there is a heart right next to my name. If you just touch on that, you can join on in. All right. So if anything, Angel, passed your math test on the first try. Not a problem. That is awesome. I'm so happy for you. Do some celebrations for Miss Angel right here. That would be awesome. If you can bless her with a couple of gifts, that would be amazing. So see, I appreciate that, because there are times I wonder, am I just doing this for giggles, or, are people really getting the assistance that they need? All right, so we have, is it Sarai? Sanare? Boo? I want to make sure, please help me with the pronunciation. Okay, Leon. Big Al, how are you? Okay, IDK is also saying it. Irie is also saying it. All of them are D. Do I do trig? I do trig for my tutoring sessions. Yes, I do. So we have our Profess. Anonymous is saying D as well. Okay, user 98 said B a couple of times. All right. Okay, Dream is saying A. Wally Jr. is saying A. Where can I find them? What do you mean, where can I find them? My tutoring center? It's like if you need some tutoring, you can just message me if you need that. Okay, 32. I Googled it. Okay. All right. Yes, tutoring. Yep. Just go ahead and just send me a message. And then I'll get back to you after our live. Okay. All right. So thanks for the follow. Is that Shanna is saying D? Okay. So let's take a look. If we know that the cube of 4, so that's the same as saying 4 to the 3rd power, and we're going to take half of that. When you take half, you're basically dividing by 2. Now, 4 to the 3rd power does not mean 4 times 3. Okay, so it's not going to be 12 divided by 2, which gives us 6. Okay, not going to do that. This is the same as saying 4 times 4 times 4. Okay, over 2. So if you want, you could say, all right, what's 4 divided by 2? Well, that will give me a 2. And then I can say 2 times 4 gives me 8, and 8 times 4 gives me a 32. You can do it that way. Or if you already know that 4 to the 3rd power is going to be 64, and then you can divide by 2 to give you that answer of 32. All right. Either way, your final answer is going to be D. D for the 32. All right, not too shabby. See, this is how easy it is. We just have to break things down step by step. So we have Victoria baked a cake and cut it into 36 pieces. Her brother ate eight ninths of the cake. How many pieces were left? Is it A, 4, B, 8, C, 12, or D, 16? Okay. Good, check mark. There you go, Bobby. Okay. Where did I get 8 from? Where are you getting 8 from? 4 times 2? Once I did dividing of the 4 and the 2, just divide that 1. So 2 times 4 gives me 8. 8 times 4 gives me 32. Okay. All right. Zach is back. I never knew you left, but I'm glad you're here. All right. We got that. Okay, Gavin with the 4. Tony is saying, Tony, I like that, is saying 12. Okay, 32 over 36, so it's 4. Okay, IDK saying A, saying it's 4. All right. Hi is saying 36 times 8 over 9. Okay, I think Gavin, I said that. Nobody said the answer was B. No one said the answer was B? Nope, no one said the answer was B. IDK A, K Mina is saying D. K Big L's not too sure. Okay, so if we have 36 pieces and the brother ate 8 ninths of it. Okay, so then we want to know how many pieces are left. Well, we have to figure out what 8 ninths is equivalent to. So if I think of it this way, I could multiply the 36 and the 8, but that's going to give me a nice log. But here, I can cross simplify because 9 and 36, they both have 9 in common. So 9 divided by 9 will give me 1. 36 divided by 9 will give me 4. So now what's left is 4 times 8, which is 32, over 1, which is just simply 32. So basically the brother ate 32 out of the 36 pieces of cake. Greedy! So we have 36 minus the 32. Now what's left, it is just going to be 4 pieces. I hope he has a bellyache. All right, so your answer is going to be 4. Yes, Genesis, I see you as well. Okay. Yes, so Maxwell, I got you with the 4 that's left. Good. Right? Some really short pieces. Right? Unless it was a really big cake. All right, so now let's venture to the next one. Let's see what we get for this one. All right, the square root of 81. What is the square root of 81? Is it A, 6, B, 8, C, 9, or D, 5? What would be the square root of 81? I'm hoping for unanimous. Okay. Hey, Brown. Good afternoon and hello, hello, hello. Okay, so I'm seeing C, Big G Money sneaking on in here. Okay. Maxwell, I see you with the 9. Okay, Icy, we got with the C. Joy with the C. Big Al with the C. Okay, with C. All right. Okay, you're saying, Jimmy, this is a 5th grade question? Oh, okay, cool. All right, but this is a question that a lot of people see on the ASVAB as well as the GED. So yes, your answer is going to be 9. So if you think about it, When you're dealing with square roots, that means you're dealing with squares. So 9 squared, that's equivalent to 9 times 9. And 9 times 9 does give us our 81. So if I took the square root of that 9 to the second power, the square and the square roots will cancel out, which simply will leave me with 9. Okay, so 2 ways of thinking of it. It's best to also kind of memorize those square roots. Here we go for the next one. So if x equals 4, which of the following equations does not result in an integer? Is it A, 2x plus 16? Is it B, 2x plus 16 but divided by 4? Is it C, 3x squared plus 1? Or is it D, 3x divided by 5? So which one, if x equals 4, will not give us an integer? AZ, how are you? It's been a minute. Yeah, you know it's the holidays when you start seeing names you haven't seen in a long time. Okay. 1, 2, 3, ooh-wee is saying A. Okay. Mina is saying C, Iron Man. Ooh, love that. Okay, oh, it's awesome. It's following. Thanks for the follow. Big G Money is saying D. Jimmy G saying D. Okay, can we learn fractions instead of this? No, sorry. Yeah, I had to limit a lot of things. There was a lot of people that had burned, I shall say, Miss Audrey. So I have to limit a lot of the things that I put out there. Hey, Lisa, so nice to see you. Okay, Mr. S is saying D, Jerry D. Okay, Mighty Fire, welcome back, is saying D, Wally D, Joy D, IDK saying D, A is saying obviously D. Okay, it's D, right? Okay, let's see, Tyshawn. All right, this is a fun chat. You know, it's all about the D's. Okay, so now we want to know what is going to give us an integer. So if I plug in, or what's not going to give us basically a positive or a negative or a 0, something that's possibly going to give us a fraction, that's what we're going to look for. So I know if I plug in, if I go 2 times 4, that gives me 8, plus my 16, that's going to give me my 24. 24 is an integer. Okay, so an integer are positive, negative numbers. It's basically your counting numbers, your whole numbers with negative numbers. All right, so if I plug the 4 in, that means I'm going to get this 24, the same that we got for answer A, but when I divide by 4, that's going to give me 6. Well, that's an integer. We're looking for ones that are not going to give us an integer. So I know if I can shoot down to 3 times 4, that gives me 12. Now we got 12 fifths. Even if I change that improper fraction to a mixed number, that is not an integer. Okay, fractions are not an integer. So your answer is D. Okay, so that's going to be your answer. Good, Gina. Good. Big Bunny, thank you so much for the follow. All right. Hello, Caribbean Queen. How are you? Okay. So for number 11, if it takes 2 minutes to fill your gas tank 2/3 full, how long it takes to fill it up? Is it A, 6 minutes, B, 4 minutes, C, 5 minutes, or D, 3 minutes? So if it takes 2 minutes to fill it 2/3 of the way, how long does it take to fill it up? Okay, so I'm seeing some C's and D's, A's. I'm seeing 3's in 3 minutes. Jada saying D, Jimmy with a D, Package saying D, Malik with a D, Chloe with a D, Mar with a D, Lopez D, Big Bunny saying D, Zach D, Mighty D, Kapow saying D, Lucas D, Clay D, Jerry D. Okay, is that a little bit or I bit or a little bit? something kind of bit. Saying D. All right, and pure honey is saying D. All right, so if we take a look, we know that 2/3 of it will fill it up in 2 minutes. Okay, so if we know this is going to be our full in a minute, so how long is it going to take for us to get this done in a minute? So it'll be so much easier if I do it this way, right? So if I have my 2/3, and I'm going to times it by that multiples, so we got our 1/2. So I know I got 1/3, but if I flip it, because I'm supposed to, if I flip it, instead of 1/3, that's how much is going to be left. So that's going to be another minute, right? So if it takes 1 minute for 1/3 of a gallon, so that means if I want to fill it up, that's going to be 3/3. So I'm missing a 1/3 to be added to that 2/3. So that's another minute. So if it takes 2 minutes to do 2/3, that means it's a minute, a third. So that means I need 3/3 to give me a whole 1. So if I'm missing this 1/3, that means I'm missing a minute. So if I add another minute to the 2 minutes, I get 3 minutes. Okay, I explained it like 3 different ways. All right. Yep. Okay. All right. So now I don't even have to do all of this crazy stuff right here, to be honest with you. Because if we're saying 2/3 is going to be 2 minutes, that means it has to be 1/3 a minute. So if there was 2 minutes here, for me to fill it all the way up, that means I'm looking for 3 out of 3. 3 divided by 3 gives me 1 whole. So we're missing that 1/3. So that means we're missing a minute. Add the minute to the 2 minutes, you get 3 minutes. Yep, there it is. All right. Okay. All right. So just like that. That's why I said I don't even have to do all that to find that 1/3. Okay. So side A of a square measure 4 inches. What is the length of the diagonal? So side A of a square measures 4 inches. What is the length of the diagonal? Is it A, 4 and square root of 2, B, 16, C, 32, or D, 18? Okay. All right, I'll show you what a diagonal is. Sir Law, hello, how are you? You're saying B, Malik is saying B, my heart's saying B, man with the plan, that's what I'm talking about. I'm saying B, Losterer, saying 16, Lopez with B, Big Bunny with a B, Icy saying B, okay. Seems like we got a trend with the B's, but we do have a couple question marks, not a problem. I'm more than willing to break it on down. Okay. Not really. Okay. All right, Gina's saying A. Lost. Let's say 4 multiple 4. Okay. All right. Hey, Bill. How are you? All right. IDK saying A. My smiley face saying A. Square root. All right. So let's take a look. So we have a square. And what do we know about squares? All 4 sides are congruent. And all 4 angles are congruent. So someone asked, what is a diagonal? So a diagonal is when I'm going from one point, and it doesn't matter, I can do 2 of them, from one point across another. So I'm basically splitting. So I'm splitting that triangle up. So if I cover this up, so now we can focus a little bit more. That means this side is going to be 4 and this side's going to be 4. So I know some people are going to be like, oh, I can do Pythagorean's theorem. All right. Remember, there's more than one way of solving this. But now, if you want to do Pythagorean's theorem, these two sides here are called your legs. That means your diagonal is called the hypotenuse. So if you recall, it is going to be your a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So we know that a and b are exactly the same. They're both 4s. And we are going to square them. 4 squared is not the same as saying 4 times 2. Stop it. So it's 4 times 4. So we have 16 plus 16. I know this is a very long way to do it, but I like to show different ways of doing the same problem. So now, if I take the square root, because square roots and squares are opposites or inverses of each other. So now I basically have the square root of 32. But I need to break down that square root of 32. So the best way that I can break it down is break it down into what's called a perfect prime combination. So I know 16 and 2, because 16 times 2 gives me 32. 16 is a perfect square root, 2 is a prime. So the square root of 16 will just give me 4. And the square root of 2, I'm going to break it on down. So now I figured out that my c is going to equal 4 square root of 2. Okay? Normally it's going to be a plus minus, but we can't have a negative length. That's why we don't focus on the plus minus when it comes to Pythagorean theorem. So that means the length of the diagonal is going to be 4 square root of 2. Now, another way is for you guys to get to know your 45, 45, 90 triangle. Okay, this is what's called special triangles. So when both of your sides are exactly the same, that third side, which is your diagonal, is going to be whatever your side measure is times the square root of 2. Will it work every 45, 45, 90? How'd you know it's 45, 45, 90, Audrey? Every time I have two sides that are the same, or I shall call it an isosceles triangle, because both of the length of the sides are exactly the same. That's how you know you're going to have 45, 45, 90. That means these small little base angles, they're going to be congruent as well. All right? So by knowing that, if I knew what the side was, all I have to do is just take that side and plop that square root of 2 next to it. Then my answer would have been A, a lot quicker. Okay? Oops, let's see what the messages are. Here are we learning. Awesome. Makes so much sense now. Good. Yeah, so you do have two ways. There's probably another way, but these are the two ways that I usually go with. Okay, so anytime I see like a little 90 degree and it's a right triangle, I can think of Pythagorean theorem, or I can think of the special triangles. So the other special triangle that a lot of people kind of forget is the 30, 60, 90 triangle. Okay, so that means you have your smallest side, then you have your hypotenuse, which is twice the smallest side, and then the angle, the side in the middle, is the smallest side times the square root of 3. So how I remember these is that if I have two sides that are the same, that means the square root has to be a 2. When I have multiples of 3, or 30 in this case, that means the square root for the middle has to be a 3. That's how I remember them, okay? All right. Yes, you kind of forgot this. Not a problem. All right. Don't cheat in school, y'all. You guys are funny. Hey, Janice, how are you? All right. So if anything, if you want to, let me back up for a second. If you want to look more into the special triangles, I have a playlist. Let's see if I can get this in here. All right. So if you go here, because I can't say the word, all of a sudden my live just goes all kinds of wonky. All right. Go, if you want to go to this channel, and there is a playlist that has TikTok lives on it. You can just do a search in the playlist for special triangles. And then you'll see the live that I did when I focused just on special triangles. Because months ago, feels like years. I feel like I've been doing this for a long time. Hasn't even been a year yet. So you can see those type of videos and also other videos that I've done here on TikTok since February the 2nd. So there's a lot of videos on there. Definitely over 200 videos as I can remember. All right. All right. Awesome. Okay. I wish I can pin it, but I don't know how to pin it on this. Not at all. Not at all. Because I'm doing it through my phone, not on my computer. All right. So for 13, what is the sum of the prime numbers below? And the prime numbers below, or the numbers below, is 10, 13, 16, 25, 19, and 47. So is the sum of the prime numbers A, 23, B, 39, C, 79, or D, 66? Oh, do we? Okay. So what do you guys think? Sorry, let me make this a lot bigger so you guys can see. Okay, so what is the sum of the prime numbers below? Is it A, B, C, or D? Dom thinks it's none of them. Okay, thank you, Pastor Billy. I appreciate the follow. Okay, add them up. Are you adding all of them up? Hello, it's Callie. Okay, sneak attack. You think 46 is prime? Okay. So this is going to be key because this is something that you're going to see GED, ASVAB, ACCUPLACER, TEAS test, SAT, ACT, any kind of state assessment, any assessment. They always give you something with a prime number question. They always do. If it's not one, it's at most two. Okay? So you definitely need to know them. All of them are prime? Nope. Okay. All right. Okay, we've got some people. There you go. There's a debate over 47 here. What are the factors? What are the factors? Come on, guys. If you're going to be taking these exams, you need to tell me. So think about it. One, we have to understand what is a prime number. Okay, teaching you saying 79. Beat and teach, Jesus. Saying 79. Okay, 79C, 79. All right, so same people. So Wyatt is saying 79. Okay, so IDK is saying 47 is a prime mate. We got Icy with a B. Sneak attack, I think 47 is prime. Okay, Noel, I think, is with an A. All right, John K is saying that 13, 19, and 47 are prime. Okay, K is saying 79. Freddie is saying C. We got 79. Doug with a C. Blesser is saying 79. Okay, yes, 47 is prime. If you just add them all, no. All right, so one, let's define what a prime number is. So a prime number is when you're looking at factors of it, two numbers to multiply to get it. The only one when you multiply by one and itself are its only factors. So the first prime number is what? Put that in the chat because I always have very lovely entertaining. So what is the very first prime number? Put it in the chat. or the comments. You know what I'm saying? Okay, divisible by 1 and itself. Yes. Okay, I got one person that got it. A lot of people are saying 13. No, 13 is not the first prime number. 16 is definitely not a prime number. 3 is not a prime number. Okay, I got 2 people. Now I got 3 people, 4 people, 5 people that got it. One with a repeat. Okay. 5 people. 6 people. Okay. 13 is prime, but it's not the first prime. Okay. So, of so many people, I only had 6 of you guys got it correct. The very first prime number is 2. Because through multiplication, the only way that I can get a 2 is factors is 1 and 2. 1 is not a prime number. Are you shocked? Because I know they always put a prime number for the SATs. And 1 is always one of the options, okay? Your first prime number is 2. So the only way, notice that if I say the next prime number, that's going to be 3. The only way I can get 3 is 1 times 3. Okay? Now, 4, that's not a prime number. Okay? 4 is not a prime number because think about what I can get for 4. So with 4, I can get 1 times 4, and I also can get 2 times 2, right? So since I have more factors other than just 1 in itself, that's why 4 is not a prime number. That's called a composite number. So with this problem, 10 is not a prime number because I can do 1 times 10 and 5 times 2. 13 is a prime number because all I can do is 1 and 13. 16 is not a prime number because we got 1 and 16, 4 and 4, 8 and 2, all right? 25 is not a prime number because I can do 1 and 25 and 5 times 5. 19 is a prime number because that's 1 and 19. And 47, I know it feels tempting. You're like, oh, it should be divisible by 3. Nope, it'll give you a nice little decimal, all right? And this is a prime number. Okay, so you cannot sit here and say, oh, it must be all odd numbers. No, because 27, that's an odd number, but that's not prime. Because 27, my factors is going to be 1, 3, 9, and 27. Okay, I got more than just 1 and 27. Okay, so we have to make sure that the factors are just 1 in itself. That's it. So now add these bad boys up. So we got 47, we have 19, we have 13. I know that 7 plus 3 is 10, and 10 and 9 is 19, so I'm going to drag down a 9. So right from here, I'm going to carry 1 though. 1 from here. Once I got that 9, I'm going to look in the 1's position to see which ones gives me 9. So far, it's B and C. So process elimination, A is gone, D is gone. So now we got 4 and 1, 2, 3. 4 plus 3 gives me 7. So that's how we have our answer. That's 79. Okay. Yep, 5 is prime, but not 25. All right. Okay. We got this. All right. So now I don't like to comment. I don't like to judge. The reason why I like to break a lot of these things down a little bit more so than normal is because I know there's a lot of people out here that is definitely afraid of math because of their experience when they were a kid. Hey, I know it because I lived it. I was basically one of those kids that the teacher will take me, pull me into a corner because we didn't have special ed back then. It pulled me into a corner, gave me a whole bunch of problems to do. But if I didn't understand them the first time in front of the group, what makes you think I'm going to understand it now that I'm in the corner? So I get it. And some people may have to leave school because they had to take care of their younger siblings. Some people had to go to work at a younger age. No matter the reason, there's some people that didn't pass or finish schooling. So I don't like to judge. The only person that can judge is God. That's how I feel. If you're insulted by that, I'm so sorry. But I would love for you to stay. But if you feel like you need to go, that's fine. Okay? So we're not here to judge. We're not here to insult. Oh my God, this is so easy. If this is really easy for you, I appreciate you coming. But I like to break things down for people. Okay? That's my whole niche. That's my whole 411. All right, getting off my soapbox, let's go to the next problem. All right, round to the nearest whole number. The square root of, now this is going to be crazy because this is a question that you're going to need your calculator for. Now, here's the thing. ASVAB, GED, ACCUPLACER, you cannot use a calculator. I know, I love how these are courses that is supposed to help you regain your high school equivalency or help you with college or whatever, or getting into the military, and you would be able to use a resource, but no, right? So, but in this question, you definitely need a calculator, okay? So if anything, you want to look for the square root. So I know some of you guys are probably on your phones. If you see a button that looks like this, or maybe there's a 2 there, that's your square root, okay? So if you could type all those numbers and then hit that button, it will tell you what your answer is. Okay, so user 83 has got me. Raj has got me. I don't use TikTok. Ooh, TikTok uses you. Okay. For the tab exam, can you? Yes, tab you can. Tab and Praxis, you can. But if anything, definitely try to practice the way that you're going to test. I always say that, okay? So Dean, I got B. Enya with A because it has 3 places behind the 3 and can be squared a lot. Yep. Okay, so we got user, we got Noah. Good job, IDK. Like that. Okay. A because I'm smart. Of course you're smart. Everyone's smart. Yep. We see things differently. A, I know because I'm smart. Okay, all right, we got it. Okay. Games is saying A. User 83, I see you. Queen E is saying A. Yes. So if anything, it is going to be A. Because it could give us all other things, but rounding, yeah, this is just not happening, and that's just not happening. It's just like, no. Just no. Okay. Yep. Round to the nearest whole number. There you go. Thank you, user 83. Appreciate it. Because grass is red. Sure. Okay. All right. So 1/3 the cube of 3 is what? Is it A, 16, B, 9, C, 22, or D, 32? Okay. Can you work that out? You're plugging it into your calculator, Fab. Yep. That's one of those questions that you're not going to see. Because anything that has to be calculator based, you're not going to see something like that. Nope. Okay. So it's like waiver. Sandy, Lexi B, Kylie B, Double X 9, Joy B, Serbian B, Richie B, Rihanna B, 3 to 3rd, Doug, user B, Kylie B, 9, Big G Money B, it's B, okay, user 45 is B, Yana B, Mighty Fire is B. Okay. So it seems like user. Hey, Apple user. I haven't seen you in forever. It's saying 22 with the C. Okay. What's a cube? Well, I'm about to show you. So we're saying the cube of 3. So that means we're taking 3 to the 3rd power. And then we're going to take 1/3 of this. So taking 1/3 of it means you're dividing by 3. So you can do this one of multiple ways. I know that when I am dividing and they have the same base, I am subtracting the exponents. So if you don't see an exponent, we can assume that the exponent is a 1. So if I keep that, I'll have 3 raised to the 3 minus 1, which gives me 2. And 3 squared is the same as saying 3 times 3. And 3 times 3 will give me 9. So my answer is going to be B. Okay. If you want to write it all out, like if you're a person that likes, okay, well, 3 to the 3rd power, that's 3 times 3 times 3. And then you are dividing by 3, that means you have one set of 3's that can cancel out. Then what's left over? 3 times 3. And 3 times 3 gives me 9. Okay? So if you get caught up and you're like, oh, I don't remember that formula, okay, write it out. Okay? Extend it. So 3 to the 3rd power is the same as saying 3 times 3 times 3. You have their 1 divided by 3. They can cancel out, and then you multiply what's left over. All right? Okay. Okay, and then you did the 3 times 3 times 3. If you wanted to do the 27 divided by 3 by knowing what 3 to the 3rd power is, and then you get your 9, you can do it that way too. See? Uno, dos, tres. 3 ways. 3 ways, same lovely answer. All right? Now, number 16, going on 17. All right. Square root of 400 equals x squared. What is x? Is x A, 30, B, 2 square root of 5, C, 20, or D, 40? What do you think? What do you think? Use the 30. I'm already on the next one. What's my answer? What's my answer? Put it in the chat. I'm just kidding. Rushing me. Next one. There you go. All right, so I'm seeing 20, C's, got a B, C, got a B, got a B, got a C, got a 20. We got Jada, we got a C, J-Dog, got a B. Simone, 20, we got 20, Kylie with a 20, Max with a C, we got J-Dog with a B, Kylie with a 20, okay, Mighty Fire with a C, Serbian, we got B, okay, Murner, saying 20 equals x squared. No, careful with that. 20 equals x. That's what you probably meant to say, not x squared, because you took it out of the x squared. Okay, Queenie saying C, Big G Money saying C, Apple user with the 20. Roses saying B, J-Dog B, Lyric Role is saying B. All right, we got some B's and C's. All right, let's see what's going on here. So, when we have our square root of 400 equals my x squared, we're trying to get x by itself. So the best way to do that is, or actually, we could square both sides. Because if I did the square root of a square root, that doesn't make any sense. But the square root of 400, that can actually be broken down to 20. Oh, I see what you were saying. I'm so sorry for that person that said the x squared. Got you. Got you. Thank you. I'm so sorry. I forgot who I insulted. I did not mean to insult you. I saw my error. Hold on, let me see who it was. My blank space. I don't know what your name is, but so I do apologize to you, my dear. Okay, so once we figured out the square root of 400, that's one of our perfect square roots because 20 times 20 gives us 400. Now we want to get rid of the square. And the way that we get rid of the square is taking the inverse, which gives us the square root. So now we have the square root of 20. Now, square root of 20, that's not a perfect square root. So we need to break it down to a perfect prime combination. So let's think of our perfects. What would be a perfect? I like the 4 and the 5. You could use 2 and 10, but you still got to break down the 10 to 5 and 2. Then you're doing a whole bunch of stuff. But if you try to get with a perfect and a prime number, that means my square root of 4, that's going to give me a whole number of 2. No more square root. Once it comes out of a perfect square root, it's a whole number. Now the square root of 5, that's not perfect. 5 is a prime number. So if I can't break it down, I'm going to bring it down. So that means my answer here is going to be 2 the square root of 5. Okay. Normally I would put the plus minus because that's what I usually, but they only showed me one of my answers. Okay. Yep. Yep, square roots are irrational, but you always want to take a look to see if you can pull a perfect from it. Okay. Always want to see if you can pull a perfect from it. All right. Well, let's see what we got. That was 16. Now we're going on 17. What do we have here? I love how we're all here doing math on Christmas Eve. That's awesome. I thought I was going to be by myself. I really did. I was like, all right, I'm just going to come on here for a half an hour and then peace. I'm just be out. Oh, my goodness. All right, so 10% of 10% of 100 is A1, B9, C10, or D20. Okay, Payson is saying A, Noel A, Ty A, Joy A, Hannah A, Queen 1, got an A, more bounce. Ooh, there you go. With the ones, we got the ones. Yep, 10% of 100 is 10. Now we just have to do that one more time. Good, we got our A. Okay. Oh, we got a C. Oh, wait, she switched it to an A. Okay, so we got our A's. All right, awesome. So it's unanimous. So if we have our 100, we take 10% of that. And then we take 10% of that. So we know if we have 100, I don't know if you want to do this, but I just feel like once you get your answer, you bubble it, you move on. So this will be moving my decimal place over one spot. So that will be 10.0, which is just 10. And then I have to multiply by another 10th. So that means I'm moving that decimal place over once more, which gives me a 1. Okay. Sometimes we don't even have to multiply. We just had to move decimal places over. That's all we had to do. Okay. All right. So it is going to be A. All right. So how many digits are left of 0? No, hold on. That's another calculator one. We don't want that. Let's do some ones that we're going to have to use our heads for. Okay, so the supplement of a 30-degree angle is blank. Is it A, 15, B, 150, C, 60, or D, 120? So the supplement. We were actually talking about this yesterday. The supplement. Okay, Bryce, Psycho, Jster, more bounce to the ounce. So we got C's and B's, C's and B's, C's and B's, and Ty. How are you? You got my B, Kendra with the B. As well as says Justin Bieber. I'm like, what? Look at him trying to get knowledge from me. King Taylor is saying B. Okay, so C. I don't remember it. You're saying C. Okay, so I got some C's and a little sprinkling of A's. All right, so let's see. So when we're talking about the supplement, if I recall, if it begins with a capital S. If I wanted to draw a line that goes through both the endpoints, I can create an 8, which reminds me 180 degrees. So supplementary angles are two angles add up together to equal 180 degrees. We know one of the angles is 30. So we're going to subtract the 30 from our 180 and we get a remainder of 150 degrees. So that means the supplement of 30 degrees is 150 degrees. Okay. Let me do a complete 180. How I remember. Oh, okay. I like that, Bryce. That's cool. It's gonna make you do some. It's gonna make you do some stuff. All right. Stuck in your head. Yep. It's like you don't get it. So supplementary angles are equal to 180. They gave you one angle. You subtract it. It gives you the 150. All right. Okay. All right, so this is for the ACCUPLACER, but we also can use a lot of these for the GED or any kind of high school equivalency assessment. So now we have y to the fourth. This is supposed to be multiplication. So you know what? I'm going to make it multiplication. We should not be using the x. It gets confusing. So we have y to the fourth times y to the sixth. So is our answer y to the 24th, B, y to the 10th, C, 2y to the 10th, or D, y squared? What do you think? A, B, C, or D? Okay, got a couple B's, got an A for Fifi, got some B's, got some B's, got some B's. Zeus with an A. Okay, Hannah with a B. We got our B, Bryce. We got like a y to the 24th, y to the 10th. We got some B's and a couple of C's. 4 plus 6 equals 10. Okay, so we're like going with the C's, B's, and A's. Interesting. All right, so let's take a look. When you are multiplying and they have the same base, which is the y, we add the exponents. Okay, so whoever put that up in the chat, good job. All right, so when we are multiplying, we add the exponents. It's almost like if I wrote out that was crazy. All right, so we have 4 y's here. We have 6 y's there. So if I count them all together, I know they got crazy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So instead of you writing it out in this extended form, because sometimes they'll give you an exponent of like 26. I ain't writing 26 y's. I love you, but no. Okay? So because we have the 4 y's here plus the 6 y's there, it gives me y to the 10th, which the answer is B. Okay? If there are numbers in front of the y's, which right now they're assumed to be a 1, you multiply them. So you multiply the coefficients, but you add the exponents. So 1 times 1 gives me 1, which is understood to be there. All right? Yeah. So all you're doing is adding the exponents. Okay. So 21, which of the following statements is false? Okay. A trapezoid is a quadrilateral. B, interior angles of a trapezoid add up to 360 degrees. C, 2 sides of the trapezoids are always parallel. Or D, the area of the trapezoid is 1/2 the base times height. Which one is false? Okay, I have some D's, Icy with a C, Jster with a C, Bryce with a C, Joy C. Raymond with a D. D. Oh, thank you. Janice, thank you. Too fine. Alicia with a D, Anti-D, Big Ben with a D. Okay, I don't know what that is, with a C. Okay, Psycho with a D. King Taylor with a D. Okay, something. Whoop, that was too fast. Max, thanks so much for a follow. Thank you. Janice, thank you. Make sure you guys, if you are a super fan or not a super fan, if you are a fan and you like this channel and you want to know when I finally get on, go ahead, hit the heart. It's a penny or whatever it is. This is one thing. Because plus I'm going to be opening up. I have my workbooks, which will be up and running on, the brown box with the smile on the face, this Saturday. I know I finally stayed up all night to make sure that bad boy is done. But I'm going to talk to you guys about that in a moment. All right. So your answer is D. Okay. This is the formula for a triangle. Okay. The area of a trapezoid is your sum of your bases divided by 2 times the height. Okay. That's the area of a trapezoid. 1/2 the base times height is the area of a triangle. Okay. Everything else is legit. All right. There you go. Thank you, Raymond. There it is. All right. Only 4 more left. What are we going to do after that? Okay, so convert 36% to a fraction. Is it A, 1/2, B, 2/3, C, 9/25, or D, 3/4? What is 36% as a fraction? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? Okay, we got C's, C's, C's. Bo with a C. America can't be real. Yeah, unfortunately it is for right now. Okay. Ty with an A. There we go. To use a calculator. I want to say yes, because if you are thinking about the GED, if you're in a regular classroom, I think most teachers do it. But if you're thinking about taking the GED, the ASVAB, and the ACCUPLACER, you can't use a calculator. So I just like to practice how we're going to play. Or you have someone that just says, of course it's cheating. All right, so we got a whole bunch of C's, lots of C's. There we go. Nice. All right, so we have that. Joy saying 9/25. So we got some C's, some C's. Violet with a C. Steve. How are you, Steve? It's good to see you. Clover, here we go. Dasan, there you go with the C's. All right, so I think it's the most sensible answer. It really is. Because if we say 36%, that is 36 out of 100. So let's be sensible. They're both even numbers. They're both ending with even numbers. I could do by 2, but I'm going to try by 4. So if I divide or simplify the numerator and the denominator by 4, I'm going to get 9 over 25. Then I'm going to take a look. Yeah, that's one of my answer choices, but always look to see if you can do it once more. Well, they're both odd numbers. So if I try to do by 3, that will work for the 9, but it definitely will not work for the 25. So that means this cannot be broken down any further. So my answer will be C. Okay. Aw, the Steves are bonding. That's cute. I love it. That's awesome. Thank you, Terry. Let's just look at it and tell what answer is. Yep. Yep, exactly. All right, next one. So we got 23. So that's supposed to be angle, not angel. But I'll take it. I'll take Angel Audrey. No problem. Is 3 times its supplementary angle B. All right. What is the measure of angle A? Taking a little bit of what we just learned about the supplementary angles. So is it A 45, B 135, C 270, or D 35? What do we think? Okay, no problem, Nick. Glad to be of help. Okay, Kadeem, thank you for the follow. User 45 is saying A. Kylie saying B. Oh, wait, switching over to C. Okay, just switching it up. The Steves are bonding again. This is awesome. All right, now you're trying to go with B. Are you using every letter, user 45? What are you doing? Loverboy saying A. Justin B. Okay, Nick with a C. Okay, we got some B's. Going back and forth, back and forth. Modern Touch with an A. All right, Birch is with the A. Loving Fan with a B. Depends if it's a triangle or a square. No. Has nothing to do with that. Just has to do with supplementary. Okay. So, Toy Cat with an A. Okay, Georgie. Yes. Okay. I'm like, that would be amazing. All right, so let's take a gander. All right, so here's that word supplement. So that means these two angles are going to equal 180 degrees. So we know that angle A is 3 times the supplement of angle B. Well, we don't know what angle B is, so I'm going to say, all right, we got x plus 3 times our x, 3 times our unknown. So I know that the sum of these two angles is going to equal 180. So if I got 4x is equal to 180, if I divide both sides by 4, how many 4s can go into 18? And that'll be 4 of them. Okay, with the remainder of 2. Bring down to 0, that'll be a 20. So how many 4s can go into 20? That'll be exactly 5. So now we know that angle B is going to be 45. But angle A is supposed to be 3 times what angle B is going to be. So that means I'm going to take this 45 and I'm going to multiply it by 3 because it's supposed to be 3 times it, right? So 5 times 3, that gives me 15. Right away, if I'm starting with the 45, definitely D is not it. And if I'm multiplying that 45 by 3, A is not it. So the only other number that can give me a 1s as a 5 has to be B. But let's finish it out just in case. 4 times 3 is 12 plus the 1 carried over is 13. Yep. So angle B is going to be 45, but angle A is going to be 135 because angle A is 3 times its supplement. Okay, I know it says angel. I'm going to take it as a vision. I'm going to take it. I'm definitely going to take it. Oops. All right. Couple more left. All right, so here we go. The fourth root of 256 is what? A4, B8, C16, or D24? Yeah, Leo supplementary means 180 degrees. So if it's a supplement, that means 2 angles add together will equal 180. If they say it's a complement, that means 2 angles add together to equal 90. So supplementary means 180 and complementary means 90 degrees. Okay, not a problem. Okay, thank you for asking the question. All right, Jan's not sure, got you. Steve with an A, Tomcat A. Is that Pony Boss with an A? Hello, Michael. Saying A, no problem. Okay, not a problem, Steve. Steve-O. Okay, user 45 saying A, anti with A, mighty fire with an A. Okay, Ava saying B, not a problem. That's what I do. All right, so we got our 65. Thank you for checking in, Michael. CJ with the A's, Grandma C with the B, Justin with the A, CJ with the A. Pony Boss is saying 4 to the 4th. Big G Money got an A, got you. Icy saying C. Okay, maybe 16. Well, let's take a look. All right, so now the 4th root. We're so used to seeing the square root. So that means we need a number that is going to be raised to the 4th power to give me 256. Now, if I try to go 16, now let's back up. So 16 squared, that's 256, but that's 16 squared. We're looking for something to the 4th power. So if I'm going to do 16 times 16 times 16 times 16, that's going to be more than 256. So we know that 16 and 24 is not it. If I do 8 times 8, that gives me 64. So if I do another set of 8 times 8, that's another 64. So if I do 64 times 64, that's going to be bigger than the 256. So we're going to be looking at 4. So if I do the extended, 4 times 4 is 16. And like we said, 16 times 16, that gives us our 256. So our answer is going to be A, 4. Okay. It helps to get to know our perfect squares and cubes, which I'm going to ask you guys something at the end that I really want you to give me your real answer. Okay. Yep. That's what you figured? Okay, good. All right. Well, thank you. I try. I try. All right. Last one for today. All right. So Grace answered 14 out of the 20 questions correctly. What percent of the total number of questions was she able to answer correctly? Is it A, 14%, B, 70%, C, 77%, or D, 80%? So 14 out of 20. Okay, user 45, we got our B. Our Saturns, we got B. Kylie, Stephanie, Michael, you, Steph, I think. All right, so we got this B's. Zeus with the 70%. Okay, tons of B's. Good job. Look at all these smarty petardis. Love it. Okay. All right. Xander. It would be 71%. Okay. So if we never mind. Okay. But you're there. So if we had 14 out of 20. Okay. We can do this one of two ways. We can probably see if we can simplify it. Simplify it by like what? 2? To make the numbers a little bit smaller. So then 14 divided by 2 will give me 7. And 20 divided by 2 will give me 10. And 7/10 is the same as saying 0.7. And 0.7, if I move this decimal place over 2 to the right, 1, 2, that's how we can get our percentage. So it's going to be exactly B, 70%. Okay. All right. So, very easy. I know. Well, it's good. I'm glad that you find it very easy. You know, some people, this is crippling. You know, some people, they're like, Audrey, I'm getting away from my comfort zone here. I'm feeling high anxiety. But hopefully you're looking at this math and you're just like, Oh, okay, I see how she's doing it. So again, if you like this, please follow me here. You can follow me here. You can also go here if you want to see the replay. Give me some time to download it and to do all that fun stuff to it. But if anything, you can go here, sign in here. If you want to subscribe, you can subscribe over there, which, it's free. Like so far, most of my stuff, other than my tutoring, is free. Now, as I mentioned to some of you guys last time, I am working on some workbooks to help people with their GED, the ASVAB, the ACCUPLACER, and I want to get your feedback really quickly. I am working on some added skill sets, and I think this is something that most people will want. Think about your experience. Some of you guys have bought books. You probably bought like ASVAB for Dummies. You probably bought like some GED books, and they are a pretty penny, like $35. And then most of it, you're just like, all I want was just the math part, right? Because I know for me, I was just like, all right, I just want to help some people get some real questions. And then all of a sudden, you're like, what's going on? So you bought an ACT guide, yeah, and that's fine. But sometimes, like, all right, I like the ASVAB for Dummies. I like their exams, but the book itself, not so much. It's a whole lot of reading, a whole lot of words, just for you to tell me to divide that from the other side. Like, why do you have to put a paragraph? Just tell me, divide on both sides. But it doesn't give you a whole lot or a focus on the math. So if I made flashcards for, let's just say, order of operations, let's say for exponents, multiplying, dividing, does that sound like something that people need? Or is it me just throwing like, I think this is what people needs? So this is the time that I need feedback. It's almost like take your time, write your stuff out. I don't do calculus. I think someone asked if I do calculus. Back up. Yeah, I do not do calculus. The highest I would go is pre-calc. And then I've been doing intermediate math classes for college students, as well as college algebra. So I've been tutoring a lot of people on that. And actually I got a couple people coming on. Some law. Okay, it's what you need. Yes. It's what people need for their future. Awesome. So like if I did also flashcards for what are the formulas that you're generally going to see in GED, ASVAB, and I always put them together because, be honest with you guys, the test is basically made from the same company. Just in case you haven't figured it out. So yeah, like the math, like that's the one thing about math. That's the one language that's universal everywhere you go. Like 2 plus 2, 2 times 2, 2 squared is 4, no matter where you go in this whole entire world. So it's like finding the area of the triangle. Yes. Like that's what I'm talking about. Like finding the area of shapes, your volume. So then you can like refresh your mind with the different formulas. Yes, please. Okay, True Blue. True Blue is like everything. Everything, and make it reasonably priced, please. Because this holiday killed my system. Or yeah, nothing that's going to be like in the 30s or in the 20s. I'm trying to keep everything less than $20. Some things I'm really trying to make it really jam-packed, like the workbook that I just completed. It has instructional. All you have to do is hit the QR code and you get me breaking down the instructional piece, and you're just taking down notes. The next piece is there's extra practice problems, and also give a quiz at the end of every volume. And then I filled up the back with, if a lot of you guys know me, with my notebooks. Let me bring one of my notebooks so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay. So I used to really focus on my notebooks, and a lot of people like my notebooks because, oops, hello. A lot of people like my notebooks because of all the information that I have in the back of my book. So what I decided to do is to take a collection of all of these and I made it into a book. So then you'll have all the references. Because some people don't need a notebook. Some people are just like, I just want the reference stuff. Or with the volumes, I take each of it, including my factor sheets are in there. So like I jammed it up with that, and then I also put some flashcards in the back so you can either make copies of it or you can cut them out of the book, and then you have a set of flashcards that you can use to put everything together. All right, thanks, Michael. Do you like the rest of the other? What do you mean? Let's say Merry Christmas. Oh, period. How are you? Thank you so much for doing that. I always wonder when people just disappear, but I understand. I'm annoying. No, but thank you, period. Thanks for popping in. So that's what I'm working on. So just be on the lookout. I am thinking about doing like a mini version of my workbook, or just doing some flashcards, something that can be of great assistance to you guys. At the same time, help fund my craziness, because basically I'm unemployed for like 3 weeks. So yeah, but the bills, I have a bill that's due tomorrow. It's Christmas. They don't care. Like bills just keep going on. Okay, please, another quiz. Yes. Or another quiz on here? No, I'm going to actually get started on my work. But I also am going to have like a whole series. So if anything, just be on the lookout. Tomorrow you might actually see like a couple ads by me. And if you can support, that would be awesome. But if you can't, that's fine. It's going to be going on until New Year's Eve. I'm going to try to do a special sale. And since you guys are still here, and there's over 200 of you, if you are not a subscriber or a fan, go ahead and just be a fan. Just sign in and be one of my fans, because I'm going to be doing a special addition to all of my fans. Not a super fan. No. Just hit the orange heart that is up there. And then you can be a fan, because I'm going to give like a special like digital component that you guys can use right away. So all my fans are going to get that special notion. So if you are not a fan, go ahead. If you want, that'll be great. But I tried to make these nice, impactful, to the point that you're going to be shocked as hell. Like, oh my God, this is so much stuff. For this? Really? I'm like, yeah. Because I really want you to be successful in your GEDs. I want you to be successful and feel comfortable with math. That's what I really want. Okay? All right. Thank you. Not a problem. All right. So thanks for the love. All right. So I'm going to wrap up so I can get back to work. So it'll be another late night for me, but that's okay, because I'm doing stuff that's going to help you on your math journey. That's what I want you to do. I want you to succeed. Okay? So I will see you guys sometime tomorrow. Yes, I'll be on. I have no life. No life, no kids. I'm not going over anybody's house. Like, I'm not doing that. I'm just going to sit here and chill, and maybe even the cats might want to go outside. We're supposed to get snow on Friday, but we'll see. But today is a beautiful day. All right, so I will talk with you guys tomorrow. Continue to be awesome. Continue to get some rest. Please be safe, because people are freaking crazy. I was only out for a little bit, and everyone is nuts. Yes, I kind of understand. So good job, Steve. Yeah, you're going to be that overachiever. I love it. Zuza. All right, so definitely Merry Christmas to you, Jacinda. Appreciate you guys. Please, happy holidays to you guys. Get some rest, eat some comfort food. Don't burn yourself out. Do not let your in-laws or your relatives make you crazy. If they're over your house, it's your rules. I don't care who's coming over. It's not their house. Okay? Love y'all. All right, have a great day. Bye now.